Hello. Today I'm going to go over some throw Oki concepts for Percival. A lot of this is kind of like I said, a concept, hypotheticals, work in progress. But I do want to get some discussion going, and I think there are some interesting ideas in here, just because I kind of got tired of just doing this to people over and over. And don't get me wrong, meaty safe carpet is fine, and so are normal safe jumps. You can absolutely win games just doing these. But eventually, when you play somebody for long enough, and they understand how this is, they know that they never, ever, ever should challenge. And if you want to actually get people to start pressing or jumping against your stuff, that's kind of what this video is for, is to add mental stack, do some different stuff, come up with ideas. So yeah, not everything here is perfect, but there's some interesting stuff to go over. All right, so I'm gonna start with forward throw mid screen. There's not too many things to go over, so we'll just do this pretty quickly. It's standard plus 44 throw, gives you normal safe jumps. Fix that real quick. Yeah, you just hold up and forward. It's a safe jump, right? The other things you could do are you could charge off of this if you 2-2M plus 3. I mistimed it there, but trust me. There we go. And if you 2-2H, you are minus 12. If the opponent knows what's up here, they could just pull up and 6-6L you, and I believe just directly punish you. If not, just clearly take their turn. But there are some people who are asleep at the wheel, or they might not know how Percy works, or anything like that. So every once in a while I do this, just because sometimes my opponent's just giving me free stocks. You could also use his command dash to frame kill, and if you do this, you actually get meaty close H. It's +1 on block here, +5 on standing hit. So if they don't get counter hit and they're not crouching, you actually don't get a far light link. But a lot of the time people are down backing and then trying to jump, so you might get the extra crouch stun frame or counter hit them and then just they explode anyways. Even regardless, this being +1 is, still good pressure-wise. They press. That's a pretty decent block string. Safe pressure ends in -4. It's still worth presenting, seeing what the opponent does, right? The other one that I'm not so sure if this is actually even good or not is actually just going into 336H. This is actually meaty if you have the stocked up version, and it's like +26. So I'll have her jump real quick. You can actually get a combo off of this. I mean, I'm not going to say that this is something that I would go for commonly or anything, but it is interesting just because a lot of people, well, they'll sometimes do fireballs on Oki here. They'll like run up and do like L fireball, or just like run up and like time meaty carpet, right? But I don't really see people go for H fireball. It's something, especially because it's auto timed, and you could get a combo. If not, and you do the command dash, you're -6 in their face with no cancel, so it's not like insane or anything. I mean, like they could throw you if they know what's up, but yeah, it's just an idea, something to think about, right? And then next, I want to go over back throw. I'm not sure if this is common, but Percival's forward and back throw actually have different frame advantage. So forward throw is +44, and his back throw is +52. So it's not like I want to say there are a lot of the characters who, like, no matter where they throw you, they get auto time safe jumps. Percy actually does not get an auto time safe jump from this. I believe you could super jump, add like a slight delay to your super jump to get this. But yeah, it does actually create some interesting situations. The most common one being, I know this is not mid screen, but you're not going to back throw them when you actually have them in the corner, right? It's only when you're cornered. You can back throw 2-2L, 2-6U, and yeah, it's a frame kill for meaty carpet, which is all fine and dandy. You could also do a single 2-2L, micro dash, and get meaty far H. This can be pretty good here too. He also has some interesting stuff that I'm gonna go into later off of forward throw in the corner, but I'll give a little bit of a demo right now, where if we frame kill for command dash here, we're at +20. This +20 number is pretty interesting because it gives us meaty 2-2L that's +2 on block. And if they get hit here, you actually get something. So we'll have her not do anything real quick. Yeah, so if she decides to get hit there, she actually gets the full corner carry from the fireball. And if you've played Percy for long enough, you know that trying to actually get the corner carry from this fireball, you need very specific hits. Like RSRC gives it to you, but if you're just trying to like freestyle it, it's kind of random whether the H fireball actually gives you the full corner carry. But in this scenario, it actually does. So even if I, do something like this, like that, carries her literally like corner to corner, basically. Actually getting somebody to get hit by this 2-2L, is a different story. But it is interesting just because, once again, getting like the corner carry off this fireball is not very common. Also, this plus 20 number is interesting because if we whiff 2M here, it puts us at -4, which I believe is the magic number to do like a whiff into throw here, because you do need to be slightly minus. But yeah, we'll go over that situation a little bit more off of forward throw in the corner, but he does have that off of back throw. And otherwise, I want to say back throw is pretty standard. Also, I guess if you back throw because of the additional frame advantage, you actually can safely 2-2H here, because -4 at this distance is completely unpunishable. I mean, -4 in general is unpunishable unless you're point blank for throw. So if you get this mid-screen and you have no stocks and you really want them, this actually is safe. And if you just want this, that is not meaty, but I mean, well, actually, no, I guess it is meaty. Yeah, I'm a cap star. First active frame 12 plus 11 after the 2-2M. Yeah, so yeah, back throw is interesting. The additional frame advantage lets him have different tools to play with. All right, so that's basically everything mid-screen. Let's go ahead and actually go into the corner stuff. So I'm sure you're probably aware, but if you're not, we'll start with the most obvious thing, which is getting meaty carpet. If you guard delay close M, it'll give it to you, or if you whiff close light twice, it'll also give it to you. The close light does not require guard delay, close medium does. They're literally the same thing, it's just personal preference. If you've been playing Percy or watching for a long enough time, you've definitely seen this, but I figure, might as well mention it while we're here, right? Next, I'll show how to get meaty plus on block close H. There's 4 different setups here. One of them involves getting a stock. I mean, the first one is literally just you do 2-2L and you do this. The upside to it is that you gain a stock. The downside is that you're 1 frame less advantage. This gives you +2 on block, +6 on standing hit. It's still enough to link into far light on hit, so it's not really a big deal. But you are technically missing a frame of advantage. And then there's 3 other frame kills. They're all functionally the same. You could technically do all of these if you want to create different versions to fuck with your opponent, create mental stack, The easiest one is if you just whiff close H and then do it again, it's auto-timed. There's no guard delay to this, you just do it. The other one, if you roll and keep holding guard during the roll to guard delay it, and then do close H, it'll work. And then this last one, which I'm definitely going to mess up a couple times, is... Oh, okay, cool, I got a first try. If you guard delay 2 crouching lights in a row, you also get it. All 3 of these are the same frame kill, but if you want to keep your opponent on your toes, because, if they see, a certain frame kill, if they see me with close H, they probably know another close H is coming. But if I have 3 different versions of the same frame kill, then my opponent is probably not going to know that all of them lead to close H. They might be like, oh, this is a different frame kill. He's going to do something different. It's like, nope, I'm hitting you with close H. But yeah, he's got a bunch of different ways to auto-time this to make it plus on block, which is nice, because once again, if they get counter hit by this, they die, and on hit, you either link into far L, the +7 on hit versions, you can link into 2M, or if they block, you keep keep your turn, keep your pressure, etc. Alright, so this is where things start to get a bit more interesting. If you remember, this plus 20 frame kill I mentioned earlier, we can make the same situation in the corner by whiffing 2M off a forward throw. So we get the same options as well, which would mean that we get the plus 2 on block 2-2L that also combos. And if you whiff another 2M after the first one, we're at -4 again, which lets us buffer instant throw here. Yep. Yeah. Since we're in the corner, we also have access to the command grab. You need to guard delay 2M or close light, and then 5U. If you don't guard delay either of the normals, you end up at +7, which is 1 frame off. I prefer to guard delay the 2M, but it doesn't really matter as long as you guard delay one of them. The problem with this set of frame kills is that I don't think it is possible for Percy to get a buffered safe jab from +20 like this. I don't know if he can really do it, because the way that we're getting to +6 here is by using close light, and if you try to input close light after the first close light, this game has a funny little rule where, like, if you whiff 2 close lights in a row like that, it cancels the first close light, so you don't go through the full 13 frame total duration. This is a bunch of nerd shit that basically means you don't have a true safe jab in this mental stack, but I still think that there's enough layering going on here to where you don't need it, and if you really want to bait DP, you can just do it manually. Even just stuff like the double 2M, and if you really think that they're just going to DP, you just don't input anything, or you could just do this, and then, you know, you could, like, fake like you're going to do something, but then not actually commit to anything, just basically kind of do, like, fake frame kills instead of actually going into something. It's layered, you're not option selecting a meterless reversal, but it is what it is. You still have enough options going on here. You have a way to do a meaty that's plus, which is this. You have the throw, and then you have the 5U. So there's enough stack going on here. And then from here, I'm basically just going to go show a shit ton of routes for if they actually get hit by this 2-2L. Because you genuinely do get good reward if they get hit by this. And even if they don't, you know, if they decide to block this. Oh, well, fuck you, Charlotta. I mean, obviously you're still plus, you get to press a button afterwards. You know, you still have a block string going on here, right? And if they're, like, delay pressing after this, you're +2, so if they immediately mash far light, the close H won't frame trap it, but people are usually, like, delay pressing like crazy in this game, so you still could get a counter hit there. And anyways, though, now it's just going to be a bunch of routes if this 2-2L hits. So this is the first route. Starts with 0 stocks. It's a +6 safe jab setup. The nice thing about this is that you end up with 3 stocks at the end. The downside is that you use both your cooldowns. So if they actually decide to get hit by this, you have to spend more resources on, you know, like RSRC or like just going straight into DP in a near combo, blah blah blah. You know, the usual stuff when you don't have cooldowns. This is the second combo. This also starts with 0 stocks. It's basically just a compromise from the first route where you do M mocked instead of H mocked to save the cooldown, but instead you only get 2-2L instead of 2-2M. So do you value getting 3 stocks and burning your cooldowns, or would you prefer to keep your cooldowns and only get 1 stock? And it's basically the only difference here. Oh, and you got to guard delay the close H for the frame kill at the end. So this is a meaty carpet route that you can get on 0 stock pre-throw. The downside to this is, once again, cooldowns. You're spending your H cooldown on the command dash to get this, so if they decide to get hit by the carpet for funsies, you actually don't really have anything great. You gotta, once again, either go straight into DP or spend a bunch on like RS, RC over and over to do real shit. So if you have one stock before the throw, you actually kind of get the best of both worlds, where you can still get 2-2M for 3 stocks, and you only have to use the medium command dash follow-up so you don't waste your cooldowns. So basically, if you get this throw and do this setup, as long as you have one stock before the throw, you don't have to worry about your cooldowns. You can still get 3 stocks and keep command dash. And then, yeah, so that is the one stock version pre-throw. Same idea where if you have a stock, you don't have to burn H cooldown and you still get meaty carpet. So yeah, there you go. Oh, also worth mentioning that the upside to the meaty carpet from both the 0 and 1 stock versions is you don't need any meter before the throw. Like, everything I did here was starting with 0 meter. So as long as you land this setup at all, you always have the choice of +6 safe jab /5U or meaty carpet. Really, the only differences in the routes are just whether you start with 0 stock, which usually means that you're going to have to use H command dash, or if you have 1 stock, you can always use M command dash, meaning that the situation afterwards, if they get hit, you'll have the command dash to then, you know, do stuff without wasting meter or BP. All right, so there's one last setup off throw that I'd like to go over. We've already been messing a lot with meaty 2-2L. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a way to get meaty 2-2M reliably. He would either need a 14 frame total duration move plus guard delay or 15 frame. The closest we have is 13, unfortunately. So we can't make meaty 2-2M work, but what we can do is make meaty 2-2H work. And this is even on block. All you gotta do is input throw, hold guard, and 2-2H. If you don't hold guard, you'll be off by 1 frame and you'll be -12 in their face. It's very easy to do. You have the entire throw animation's worth, or just hold the button and then just press 2-2H. So this is cool because we obviously get a shit ton of stocks and we're even on block. And if they decide to get hit and you have 37 meter, this combined with the throw means that they take a little bit over 10k. They take 10.5k damage for getting thrown and then deciding to eat a meaty. This is pretty nuts. It's definitely a lot more of a gimmick than the 2M 2-2L stuff, because at least with this there's layers, right? Like you could like whiff this and go into throw. You could like, you know, like whiff this and then do the close L command grab. There's layers to that, right? This is just, you just do it and they either block it or they don't. And if they decide not to block it, you kill them. If you have 37 meter anyways. I'll show some routes here for what you do if you don't have the meter. They're going to be similar to before, where you, you know, you just go into +6 for safe jab or meaty carpet. But yeah, especially against characters that don't have meterless reversals. So like if I was fighting Fairy, for example, and she didn't have meter for a reversal, she also doesn't have a 6 frame far L, because her far L is her unique and awesome and very special far L. So even in a scenario like this, like I could set her on block to do this, and then, oh whoops, she does not block. She actually can't do shit about this. If she doesn't have meter to do UDP, this is even, you get stocks and you press 5L. She either gets hit for funsies and you kill her, or if she decides to block, you can far L and take your turn, and she actually can't do anything to fight this back. So it's uniquely good against Fairy, but in general, if they don't have a meterless reversal, I would say this could be worth doing, just because, once again, even if they block, you get 5. And against some characters, getting stocks really, really matters. Fairy's one of those characters. But yeah, I'll go ahead and show the routes for what happens if you don't have 37 meter to dump into Zoriasan and instead just, do a normal combo. So that's what you do to get +6. The route is a little bit different because since you're using 22H, you don't actually have the cooldown, so you can't bounce people off of a 22L or a 22M. So you just do the medium command dash and follow up, and then just whiff some buttons to get to +6. And then, yeah, this is what you would do to get Meaty Carpet. Once again, slightly different route. You don't have 2-2 cooldown to bounce them off of, so you do 2L, close L, and then whiff a close L, 2-6U. So yeah, there you go. This, I believe, should be the end of the video. I've gone over mid-screen stuff, differences between forward and back throw, obviously shown off Meaty Carpet, shown off ways to get Meaty Close H, shown off a bunch of concepts for getting to +20 and then mixing up like Meaty 22L, how to convert off the 22L into +6 setups and Meaty Carpets depending on stock counts, and then the fun stuff that comes from Meaty 22H. So yeah, there's a lot here. I think some of this stuff genuinely could be valuable and incorporated into more standard Percy play. Some of it is maybe more memes. But yeah, hopefully this gives you some new ideas, gives you some new toys to play with. There's some interesting stuff here. So yeah, if you made it this far, thanks for watching.